ahead on Newsbeat, the supply of crawfish might have been affected from all the wet weather this year.
Garbage bags are covering the West Parker intersection traffic lights. Find out when you can expect them to be up and running.
And see how student government logs on their spring SG election.
All that and more, Newsbeat starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Newsbeat. I'm Stephanie Caprera.
And I'm Jake Robles. Thanks for joining us. We start today's show with news about another administrator leaving LSU.
This time it's the Director of Auxiliary Services. Jason Tolliver told his staff Friday he would be leaving LSU. He's taking a similar position at the University of Arizona. Tolliver was once in charge of running the student union's Tiger Lair and bookstore. He says he wasn't looking to leave LSU, but he says it was the best opportunity to broaden his skill set. His last day at LSU is March 28th. At this time, there is no search committee to replace him.
This week marks the student government election season. If you've been seeing student government information all over Facebook, that's because candidates can now engage in passive campaigning. John Woodard and Taylor Parks of Unite LSU and Graham Howell and Caitlin Torquay of Team Impact LSU have taken to social media to get your vote. SG President Carrie Hebert says candidates are easing into their campaign.
Passive campaigning it's where the candidates who are running, they actually aren't campaigning to where they're like handing out, push cards and all that good stuff, and I guess what every student would say, like annoying students as much publicly. What it is they're active on social media.
Candidates will be campaigning more aggressively next week. And many LSU students do rely on bicycles to get around. However, they're one of the most reported stolen items on campus. Reporter Farrah Reed explains how technology is helping catch cycle thieves.
Marissa Burrich had 2 bikes stolen on campus.
The police came, he just wrote stuff down, and that was pretty much it.
She said her bikes were her main source of transportation.
I could not get to classes because completely opposite side of campuses. I rode it to school.
Some campus police departments, like Tulane University in New Orleans, are taking an aggressive approach to put the brakes on bicycle thefts. The department just started a bait bike program.
It's not if we catch you, it's when we catch you.
Tulane Police Department Superintendent John Barnwell says the bait bikes are planted around campus and have GPS tracking so police can monitor all movement.
We set a geofence around that bike rack. Once the bicycle is taken outside of that geofence, it triggers an alarm where we're able to pull it up on a Google map, locate the bicycle, and apprehend the person.
He says Tulane had nearly 60 reported bike thefts last year. Using the tracking program, Secure Us, police officers tracked the bike using the internet and text and email notifications. Barnwell worked with the program at NC State and says the results speak for themselves.
This is the reason why I wanted to bring it here. We actually reduced our numbers at NC State by almost 50%.
Tulane police hope students will use these stickers to raise publicity about the program and decrease the number of bike thefts on the campus. For Tiger TV, I'm Farrah Reed.
Barnwell says he hopes to extend the bait program and make it accessible for laptops and cell phones.
Heavy and steady rainfall in early January was a huge problem for southern Louisiana, and as a result, crawfish farmers are feeling the pinch. Reporter Michael Simino explains how the rain is affecting their bottom line.
After we cut the rice, we put the water back on it in October.
Crawfish farming is part of a way of life for Todd Zombreaker.
We started in January this year, around January 2nd or 3rd, and we were really doing real well.
Zombreaker looks for crawfish in his pond 6 days a week. This year, he says, weather hasn't affected his crop. But Dr. Greg Lutz of the LSU Aquaculture Center says heavy rain this winter may have hurt the crawfish crop for many.
We had too much of a good thing, and there were really a lot of crawfish ponds where the water got so high around the pond that it came over the levee.
Lutz says rain could make crawfish leave the pond altogether. Another problem, fish that could get into the pond.
All of these fish, when they get into a crawfish pond, it's just like a buffet.
Lutz says each fish can eat about 1 sack of crawfish, but he also says the water might not be all bad.
rain is a good thing. You know, every time we get rain, it sort of freshens up the pond, adds a little spike of oxygen to the water, and the crawfish seem to respond and become a little more active.
Zombreaker says he's sure he'll still go out on his boat, continuing his way of life, no matter what happens.
It just depends how many crawfish are going to survive that knows, you know, how many you're going to have the following year.
I'm Michael Cimino reporting.
According to the Louisiana Farm Service Agency, 17,000 acres of crawfish were raised in Acadia Parish last year. Overall, crawfish producers raised crawfish on nearly 77,000 acres in 2012. Looks like a lot of rain is headed our way this week. Chief Meteorologist Robert Gocher III tells you what to expect after the break.
Stay with us.
Good evening, I'm Chief Meteorologist Robert Gocher III. Let me tell you, them crawfish be swimming down there now, shall? Let's take a look at the product put out by the Storm Prediction Center, and this is what I'm talking about. These crawfish are going to have a lot of water tomorrow and the next few days. The Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk over pretty much all of Louisiana. That means tomorrow that the atmosphere will be favorable for well-organized severe thunderstorms. However, the slight risk means relatively low numbers or coverage, so it'll definitely be wet tomorrow. Your thunderstorm chances are pretty much 90 to 100%. Let's take a look at tonight's weather, though. Tonight will be pretty much mostly cloudy. Your chance of showers won't be until early Thursday morning, as opposed to late tonight. Low of 50 degrees and patches of moon, but more than likely it'll be pretty much cloudy. Tomorrow you can expect the thunderstorms to come. Tomorrow's high will be around 73 degrees. It'll be breezy, an east wind of 15 to 20 miles per hour, and pretty much thunderstorms all day. This is a front that's coming through, and once it comes through, it'll stall. And you can see on the 5-day forecast, once that front stalls, it'll pretty much just rain on us throughout the weekend and even into Monday. Our high temperatures will be fairly steady in the mid to lower 70s, and our lows will be a little in the mid 50s and a little jumpy, but it'll be pretty cool at times, pretty warm at times. That front is just going to cause us a lot of rain. To keep you up to date, listen to me on 91.1 KLSU. Find me on Facebook or Twitter. Back to you.
Thanks, Robert. Coming up in entertainment.
You can experience the King of Pop's music right here on LSU's campus. Lauren Graham tells us more details after the break.